Here's a design on this coffee mug. It's just been through the dishwasher so many times. Can you just about see the devil head? Quite apt for the day after Halloween. It's Day of the Dead in Mexico. So yeah, what's happening? Let's have a look at the Twitters. Let's have a look. Well, there's not much happening on the Twitters really. It's a bit quiet this morning, he says. And I'm not even going on to Facebook social media. That's not the one I tend to use. So what happened last night? Well, it was Halloween last night. We only had 3 trick-or-treaters. Bit of a shame really. I mean, the village is fairly quiet, and there was some really nice decorations. You know, people had tried. We had loads of pumpkins outside. Couldn't light the candles in them, it was that windy, and I think it was the weather that put a lot of the trick-or-treaters off really. They're not going to come all the way up here to do a little bit of trick-or-treating. And we're on the run up now to bonfire nights. Not fireworks night, not to me and people of my age. It was always about the bonfires, you know, collecting pallets and wardrobes and beds and chest of drawers. You know, wood that could burn, none of this MDF rubbish, but wood that would actually burn, and piling it up on the waste ground, and maybe having someone's parent with like a £5 box of fireworks, a couple of rockets, a couple of Roman candles, you know, a traffic light, and that was it. And then as I get a bit older, and the bonfire displays, you know, they become more organised, huge mountains of pallets and all that. I know my brother once, he worked with the local round table, and they used the football ground, and he piled up a bonfire to rival any that you'd get in sort of Belfast and Dublin for the sectarians. But yeah, no, but then all of a sudden it changed, and they became fireworks displays. The bonfires died out, and it was just all money up in smoke. And I'm too northern for that, you know. It's watching money go up in smoke. The firework, yeah, they do scare animals and the rest of it, you know, and they're not as entertaining. And people can criticise bonfires. Oh well, there was kids burned, you know, hedgehogs nest in them and then they get burnt alive. But to me, it's about the bonfires. It's more primordial. It connects you to something. Sitting close to a roaring fire, you know, looking at a fire, it's a connection to an older part of us that we don't, you know. People talk about this, you know, forest bathing and go on walk, and I do it. I go for walks. I didn't this weekend, but I go for walks and I do my cold water dipping and things like that. And maybe, you know, being close to a live fire, a wood fire or a coal fire or flame, being close to flames, you know, is part of that getting back to nature and grounding and resetting. I mean, we like to do it. We like to watch the programmes on the TV, me and the missus. These natural disasters, you know, the floods, and you see the water piling down through a village, or a tsunami. You see it coming up through Japan or somewhere, you know, and you're watching the ice shelves melting in Antarctica and they're collapsing, and yeah, they're disasters. But it also, you sort of, nature's showing you what it can do. And it does, even though it's on the idiot box, it does sort of, you know, this is nature, this is a connection to nature that we're very disconnected from. You know, people don't walk. You know, this is the weird thing about gyms, and this is one of the things. If you're going to go to a gym and train and do like weights and all the rest of it, yeah. But, you know, people will drive to a gym, sit in a steel box, get out, walk 20, and they'll walk the shortest distance possible. They'll park as close to the gym as possible and walk the shortest distance possible in nature to go inside, and then go stand on a treadmill for 40 minutes. You know, that I don't get. Maybe it's an age thing. See, I was there. Excuse me. I suppose you could call it the health boom or the gym boom. I remember healthy eating, you know, Christ, as a child of the 70s or 80s, we ate food that was full of preservatives. Finder's crispy pancakes, Wall's Viennettas, pre-packaged, pre-made, pre-packed things. And then, the people that were home baking and baking their own bread, they were hippies from the 70s. They were like, it was called macrobiotic then, everybody ate E numbers. And when the 80s came along, and the healthy eating and all that, and then people started, eating more healthily and watching out for things and running marathons and doing aerobics and all the rest of it. All of that sort. I remember that, and the town I grew up in had a sports centre, which was a swimming pool. Well, it was a few swimming pools, but it was like a couple of swimming pools, and that was it. And then a couple of gyms. One was in an old tennis court, one was up the other end of town, and these were very male orientated. They were weightlifters gyms, they were bodybuilders gyms. It's not like nowadays where, every industrial estate has 2 or 3, and they're as common as tattooists now. And maybe there's a connection there as well. We'll work, not me, he says, patting his belly, but people, is it, as thoughts just occurred to me, is it this selfish behaviour, this selfish gene, this holdover from, I'm all right, Jack, I'm going to do well, I'm going to have money in the bank, I'm going to have shares in British Gas, British Telecom, British Steel, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, is the trickle-down effect of that now is, it's me, and look at my decorated body, look at my pumped up or in shape or whatever you want to call it. Is that a psychological roll down from the yuppies? It could be, that everybody's working, everybody's just so interested in themselves and working on themselves and all that. I don't have a gym membership. If you looked at me, you could probably tell. But it's the cost of it. It's the price of a gym membership. They're making money off people wanting to be healthy. You're making money off people's health and fitness, and that's a bit sort of shouldn't that be free? I mean, it is free. I can walk to Lidl and back, or I can walk to Bryn back, or if I can make it, and I can do my walks over Clydach Mountain and my dipping, yeah, I don't know, gym equipment costs and all the rest of it. But I mean, I suppose if the government were really serious about having a healthier population, they'd be handing out gym memberships or making they'd be subsidising gym memberships and things like that, and they're not. So how committed to having a healthy population are the government when they're not subsidising gym memberships, and they've got like people from Tesco's and all that, and there's a big revolving door thing from the board of directors and all that, and they're all big mates, and Tesco and the big supermarkets are party donors. But that's just me and my political paranoia, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so going back to what's been happening. Well, it's Monday and it's a week starting. Looking forward to the end of the week. I'm looking forward to Bonfire Night this week. We had so many problems last year. I mean, not just the lockdown and the pandemic and all the rest of it. We just kept setting ourselves. We'll be in this house by my birthday. We weren't. We'll be in this house by the operation. We weren't. We'll be in this house by Halloween, and we were so built up for Halloween, wanting to practice it, indulge it, be part of that thing. We weren't. We'll be in this house by Bonfire Night. We weren't. We were eventually in. Just came in under the line just before Christmas, and our Christmas dinner, because we had no cook, was a cold milk meat buffet. We still enjoyed it though, but yeah, we're looking forward to celebrating it this year. Anyway, my coffee is now cold, so I am going. Peace out, you all.